So another way that I think GGC increases student engagement is they're learning transferable skills. So the skills that they use to plan their service projects are the exact same skills that they use to plan their math projects or social studies group projects. So as an example, the kids made colony commercials. Well, they were already very well versed in figuring out what materials they were going to use, figuring out what their end goal was going to be, and the steps it was going to take to reach that goal. And so I think school-wide, because students are expected to plan their projects or have those conversations with an adult about how to have this end project, then they then can transfer those into social studies projects, math work groups where they're working to solve a word problem. They kind of know they need to come up with a plan, and they just can't start doing stuff.
Speaking about math especially, my students get very bummed when they don't have the answer right away or they can't figure it out. So I feel like the problem solving and knowing that even if you don't get an answer right away, having that growth mindset, and that's where Crummy kind of comes in. It's like, don't have the attitude of Crummy right now. Like, we can kind of regroup, plan again, and come up with the right answer together as a group, which is that team building too.
Yeah, and it also gives them great vocabulary for to reflect on what went wrong. Yeah. The reflection aspect of Global Game Changers definitely is transferable. So let's say that example, if the math project doesn't come out how they wanted, they have the vocabulary to say, it was step 2 where we went wrong, or we didn't have the correct materials.
Right.
So that's always a great thing that they're able to tell you and not just kind of shut down.
Right. I also love when I'm studying a Heart Badge and the lesson ties directly into something I'm doing in my English class or my math class. For example, we are about to start reading the book Hatchet by Gary Paulson, and we just studied the Animal Badge, and that's all about habitats and adaptations of animals in the 4th grade. And we took a field trip to the Blue Ridge Parkway Visitor Center, and we got to talk about animal adaptations and the habitats that they live in. And then one of the projects for Global Game Changers was to make a brochure. And so I kind of combined that with my literacy lesson, and they made a brochure for a hiker, and they let the hiker know about the animal adaptations, the plant adaptations, and the habitats. So it kind of brought the two worlds together, which I also always think is a beautiful moment when that Global Game Changers meets the academic classroom too.
Right, it's definitely cross-curriculum.
Yeah.
Activities and badges that they can incorporate into reading lessons or math lessons.
Right. Exactly.
And definitely social studies lessons.
Yeah, and then also I've taught 5th grade, and I don't know in Kentucky if y'all take the 5th grade science end of grade test, but in North Carolina we have to take an end of grade test for science. And it kind of, those adaptations and animal habitats kind of builds on for them when they go into the 5th grade next year. They're going to get tested on that, which kind of also is like giving them some pre-background knowledge for when they get to that big unit in the 5th grade too. So it's kind of like prepping them for what's next too.